श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की, श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की, श्री शबरी माता की, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की। उपस्थित भगवत कथा अनुरागी
Hare Krishna, I heartily welcome you all, the devotees who have gathered here to listen to the mellowful Bhagvatam Katha. I especially heartfully welcome the senior devotees of the International Society of Krishna Consciousness, Iskcon, and I would forward my greetings to all of you who have gathered here through all parts of the world in large numbers through the medium of YouTube, Facebook, Zoom, etc. That is all our listeners. And in particular, I would welcome the host family who have organized this beautiful katha in the reverie of their ancestors, that is the whole Patni family, in which we have from London Naveen Bhai, Ranjan Bhai, Ramesh Bhai and Murli Ben, and from Australia Arvind Bhai and the Indira Ben, from Nairobi Shobha Mata, Yogesh Bhai, our friend, and specially welcome Prabhudas Bhai, who has specially come here to bless us. And in the memory of the pious ancestors of Patni family, I welcome you all on the third day of this katha, and our humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Radhe Shyam.
यदि कोई आपसे पूछे, कोई छोड़ो मैं ही आपको पूछूं,
if I ask you a question,
सबसे आसान काम क्या है?
that what is the easiest thing to do in this world?
सबसे आसान काम क्या है? हमारे गुजराती में જ્યારે કોઈ આમ સરળ કામ કરવાનું હોય, કોઈ ઈઝી
In
આસાન કામ હોય,
our Gujaratis, if there is something easy, then we generally equate it with, is it easy as it is easy to eat? So people have this mindset that eating food is very simple. But if you see, even eating is not that easy. You have to chew the food and put so much effort. And then you have to digest as well. If we don't digest properly, then the tummy will come out. So the easiest feat to perform is what? That's the question. So after thinking or contemplating, then what will be the conclusion? As we are sitting under the shelter of Shabari Mata and from her life, so from Washington DC, Dr. Kirit Patel is here. Welcome him as well. So from the life of Shabari Mata, there is one thing that we can conclude, that the easiest thing to do is to perform loving devotional service towards the Lord, that is bhakti. And that is the easiest task of all.
क्योंकि भक्ति करना
And why? Because it is our eternal nature and responsibility of the soul, and we are not this body, but we are this soul. If we think about Kirit Bhai, how much he might have studied to become a doctor. If you want to become knowledgeable, intellectual, then how much books you have to read. So it is easiest to please the Lord. It's not, no special qualification is or art is required to please the Lord.
भगवान को प्रसन्न किया जा सकता है.
So the Lord could be pleased just by performing loving devotional service towards Him. And that is what we learn from the pastime of Shabari. So this Shabari had no knowledge, neither she was born in a high clan, no she had any age. So if you see, she had no particular achievement or particular expertise, yet she attained Lord Sri Ramchandra. Why? Because the Lord doesn't get pleased by our achievements or our expertise in particular field, but by just simply performing loving devotional service towards Him, that is bhakti. So although we are listening to the character from Ramayan, but as you are aware, when we always try to follow the philosophy and understand these kathas depending on his philosophy. So his eternal associate, Sri Rup Goswami, under which we are performing this bhakti, and we are the followers of Rup Goswami, thus we are Rup Anugas. So Sripad Rup Goswami, whatever verse he liked, he used to quote it or note it down in his own personal diary, and it was named as Padyavali because it comprises of so many of verses. So there are quite many verses in his Padyavali, and there is one verse in particular which mentions that to please the Lord, we don't need to achieve any particular expertise or achievement, but only by just performing devotional service we can please the Lord. We all should try to learn this verse as we follow Rup Goswami, And this is his verse. So if somebody tells you to preach, so this is the first verse that you should take. Initially, when I started, at those times, I learned these verses because to preach on these verses is easy because there is so much matter to speak on these verses. So this verse is in Shardul Chand. So let's sing and understand it in detail.
व्यादस्या चरणं ध्रुवस्य च वयो विद्या गजेन्द्रस्य का कुब्जाया किमुनामरूप अधिकं किं तत् सुदानो धनं वंशः को विदुरस्य यादवपते रुग्रस्य किं पौरुष भक्त्या तुष्टति केवलं न च गुणे भक्ति प्रियो माधव भक्ति प्रियो माधव. श्रीपाद रूप गोस्वामी कहते हैं,
So Sripad Dhruv Goswami says that how in this world the easiest task to perform is to please the Lord and do or perform loving devotional service towards Him, which requires no expertise or achievement in particular. In this verse, he refers to the pages of our history and tells us that so Vyad is the hunter. So there was one hunter who used to kill animals day and night, used to torture them. So one time he was about to kill a deer, and on the way he saw Narad Muni, and this deer ran away. And he became quite upset. He wanted to abuse Narad Muni, but Kaviraj Goswami says that because Naradji has such an aura that he couldn't abuse him, although he wanted to. So some saints have such power or aura that people who speak a lot also become mute. That is their potency. Naradji asked, "What are you doing? You are killing so many animals and torturing them." The hunter replied that I feel very satisfied when I see them tortured and about to die. And Narad Muni told him this is a huge sin and you are destined to go to the hell and suffer the consequences. So for some time he got the association of Narad Muni, and he his heart
और भगवान
changed
के नाम का जाप
and
करने
he
लगा।
started chanting the holy
और
names of
एक
the
दिन
Lord.
वो
And
शिकारी
one day,
संसार का
that
सबसे बड़ा
hunter
भक्त बन गया।
became the greatest devotee of the
जंगल में
Lord,
पशु पक्षियों को तड़पाकर
the
मारता था।
one who used to
वो जब मार्ग से
torture and
चलता
kill
था
animals day in and day out.
तब चींटी को भी नहीं मारता था, चींटी
And
को भी
now
बचकर चलने
he
लगा।
reached a
कितना
situation
बड़ा
where
डिवोटी हो गया।
he
तो यहाँ रूप
avoided
गोस्वामी याद
even
करते हैं
killing the
वो
ants while
ज्ञानी का,
walking.
उस शिकारी का कौन सा बड़ा आचरण था।
So Rup
पशुओं को
Goswami is
मारने
referring to
वाला,
him that
साधुओं
what
को
was
काटने वाला
his
भगवान को पा गया।
great
क्यों?
behavior,
क्योंकि वो भगवान की भक्ति किया था।
but only because he
तो
performed
शिकारी
devotional
में कोई
service towards
आचरण
the
नहीं
Lord,
था, फिर भी
he
भगवान को पा
was
गया। आगे
able to
कहते हैं
attain the Lord.
बालस्य चरणम और दूसरे नंबर पर
And then the
ध्रुवस्य च
second
वयो।
number, the second person discussed here is Dhruv
ध्रुव
Maharaj.
के पास कोई उम्र नहीं थी,
Although Dhruv was a
केवल 5 साल
small
का बालक था।
boy, he was only 5 years old.
शिकारी के पास आचरण नहीं था, फिर भी भगवान को पा गया। ध्रुव के पास उम्र नहीं थी, फिर भी वो
The
भगवान
hunter
को पा गया।
had no
फिर आगे कहते हैं विद्या गजेंद्र का।
culture or heritage
गजेंद्र के पास
or
कोई
etiquette,
विद्या नहीं थी, कोई डिग्री
and
नहीं थी।
Dhruv had
हम
no
लोग तो
age,
MBA, BBA, CCA
and
न जाने कितनी कितनी डिग्री
Gajendra
लेकर बैठे हैं।
had no qualification
लेकिन
or
भागवत के 8वें स्कंद
education.
का वो हाथी
Yet
गजेंद्र
in the
कोई
8th
स्कूल
canto
कॉलेज में नहीं
of
गया,
Bhagavatam,
लेकिन वो
Gajendra
गजेंद्र
was not
भगवान को पा
educated,
गया।
but still he was able to attain the Lord.
तो गजेंद्र के पास विद्या नहीं थी। दूसरी लाइन में कुब्जाया किमु नाम रूप अधिकम। कुब्जा का न तो कोई बड़ा नाम था,
So
न तो
Kubja
कुब्जा के पास
had
कोई
no
रूप था।
name or not,
कुब्जा
neither she
कुरूप
was
थी,
beautiful,
उनकी पीठ में
she
कीचड़
was
था।
ugly, and
लोग
she
उसको
had
मजाक
a
करते थे,
hump
कुब्जा का
on his
उपहास
body,
करते थे।
and people used to laugh at her.
लेकिन कुब्जा ब्यूटी पार्लर में नहीं जाती थी,
Yet she
वो
never
मेहनत
went
से
to beauty
मेहनत नहीं
parlor.
करती थी। ऐसी कुब्जा कृष्ण को
And
पा
such
गई।
Kubja
कोई
attained
नाम
Lord Sri
नहीं, कोई
Krishna.
रूप नहीं, लेकिन फिर भी कृष्ण को पा गई। कृष्ण को पाने के लिए न तो कोई रूप चाहिए, न नाम
So,
चाहिए,
to
न
attain
विद्या
the
चाहिए,
Lord,
न
you
कोई
don't
उम्र
need
चाहिए, न कोई आचरण
age,
चाहिए।
education, behavior,
कुछ लोग कहेंगे
or
पैसा तो चाहिए,
beauty. But some
बिना
will
पैसे के
say
कुछ नहीं होता
that
प्रभु,
you will at
ऐसे
least
कैसे
need
चाहिए।
Lakshmi
तब रूप गोस्वामी
or
कहते हैं
money,
दूसरी लाइन
riches
के अंत में
to attain the
किम
Lord. But
तत्सुदाम्नो धनम। भाई
lastly,
सुदामा के
Rup
पास
Goswami
कौन सा
answers
बड़ा
that
धन था।
Sudama had
कंगाल थे सुदामा,
what riches in
कोई
his
धन
life.
नहीं था,
He was
लेकिन
a
फिर भी सुदामा
destitute
भगवान को
Brahmana,
पा गए।
yet he attained the Lord.
नहीं नहीं, ईश्वर प्राप्ति के लिए ऊंचे वंश में जन्म लेना होगा, तो तीसरी लाइन में कहते
So,
वंश को विदुरस्य।
if people ask that it
विदुर
is
के पास
necessary to
कौन सा
be
बड़ा
born in
वंश
a
था।
higher clan or society,
दासी के पुत्र
then
थे, दासी के कुल में जन्म हुआ था,
what was the clan of
लेकिन
Vidur?
फिर भी वो
He
विदुर
was the
भगवान को पा गए।
son of a maid servant.
यादव पते उग्रस्य किम पौरुषम। यदु कुल में जन्म लेने वाले यदु कुल
And
के राजा उग्रसेन में कौन सा
King
पराक्रम था,
Ugrasen had
कौन सा
what kind of
प्रभाव था।
brave heart
कोई प्रभाव नहीं था,
or what courage he
लेकिन फिर भी
possessed,
भगवान को
but
पा गए।
still he attained
तो
the
तीसरी
Lord.
लाइन में कहते हैं कि शिकारी में कोई आचरण नहीं था, ध्रुव के पास
So
कोई
the
उम्र नहीं
hunter had
थी,
no
गजेंद्र
behavior,
के
Dhruv
पास
had
कोई
no
विद्या नहीं
age,
थी, कुब्जा के
Gajendra
पास
had
कोई
no
रूप नहीं था,
education, Kubja
सुदामा
had
के
no
पास कोई
beauty,
धन नहीं था,
Sudama had
विदुर
no
के पास वंश
money,
नहीं था,
and Vidur had
उग्रसेन के पास
no higher
कोई पराक्रम नहीं था,
clan
लेकिन फिर भी ये
birth,
सब भगवान को
and
पा गए।
Ugrasen had no
क्यों?
courage, yet
क्योंकि
they all
कंक्लूजन ये
attained
है चौथी
the
लाइन
Lord.
में,
But because
भक्त्या
the conclusion
तुष्यति
is
केवलम
in the
न च
4th
गुणे
or the last line,
भवति प्रियो माधव। कंक्लूजन ये है कि भगवान जो है
that the
माधव,
Lord
भगवान कृष्ण जो है
Madhav or
भक्ति
Krishna,
प्रियो,
he
भक्ति को पसंद करते हैं, और भक्ति
appreciates devotional service, that is
भक्ति
bhakti,
से ही संतुष्ट होते हैं,
and he
न
gets
च गुणे।
satisfied.
वो गुणों
Tushyati
की
means
बातों से, गुणों
satisfied,
से कोई मतलब नहीं।
and he doesn't
गुण
care
माने
about our
सुंदरता, धन
qualities.
संपत्ति, ये वो
Nacha
वंश आदि,
gune means
न च
qualities.
गुणे,
But he gets satisfied only and only by performing the pure devotional service towards the Lord. And the greatest example of that is Shabari Mata. Of all these things that are mentioned, she had nothing, but she performed devotional service towards him and she attained Lord Sri Ram. She was not born in a high class. So, her clan's name is attached to her name itself.
शबरी बोलने पर तो यही ध्वनित होता है ना कि नीच कुल में जन्म लेने वाली शबर कुल की नारी शबरी.
By her name, it appears that she is from the low caste or birth, but yet she became favorite of the Lord. Why? Prahlad Maharaj tells Bhagvatam, these verses are very, very important and powerful. Prahlad Maharaj says, Vipra means Brahmana, Dvi means two, and Shad means six. Yukt means including. So if we multiply 6 into 2, it will be 12. So the Brahmana possesses 12 qualities. Even Brahmanas will be thinking that I am a Brahmana by birth, but I am not sure what qualities that they should possess. So let's first understand. And what are those qualities? According to our Vedic injunctions, first is dhan, that is riches or money. They should have good amount of money so that they don't have to depend on others. Otherwise, they will lose their way. Second is kulinta. Third is beauty, roop. Then austerity, then knowledge, then effulgence, potency, intelligence, and yoga. So these are the 12 qualities that a Brahmana should possess. But what does Prahlad Maharaj say? That a Brahmana has these 12 qualities, yet if he doesn't praise or is opposed to the Lord, then even a dog eater is better than that Brahmana. Prahlad Maharaj had said such a great or important principle for us that even if a Brahmana possesses all these 12 qualities, yet if he is opposed to the lotus feet of the Lord, then even a dog eater is better than such a Brahmana. Why?
वो अपने मन को, वचन को, धन को, प्राण को भगवान में लगाया है.
Because he has his focus on the Lord. So even if he's a dog eater, but he has surrendered completely to the Lord, then he is better than a Brahmana with 12 qualities. And he is capable to purify his whole clan.
और बड़कपन का अभिमान करने वाले ब्राह्मण अपने कुल को तो छोड़ो, वो अपने आप का भी उद्धार नहीं कर सकते.
If the Brahmana is proud of his birth, then they cannot even purify themselves. Forget about the whole clan.
यदि कृष्ण की भक्ति करता है तो वो अपने आप को नहीं, अपने पूरे कुल का उद्धार कर देता है. इसलिए कहाँ जन्म हुआ, ये
where someone is born is not that important or significant. But after taking birth, whom are we trying to serve? That is far more important.
माता शबरी का जन्म शबर कुल में हुआ है.
Today, Mata Shabari is born in Shabar clan, yet she has performed extreme loving devotional service towards the Lord and purified not only herself but her whole clan. So till now we have heard how Shabari was born, and when she was about to get married, and on the day of her marriage, she saw so many animals died, and when she realized that they all will be killed, she manifested mercy in her heart. And this mercy is the ornament of a true devotee of the Lord. If we think that we are pious, then we should be merciful to others. There are quite many religions, and they kill animals mercilessly. In a religion where there is no mercy and they kill animals mercilessly, then how can we consider such religion a religion? Because the religion stands on the pillar of mercy, and killing animals is not righteousness. That is dharma. And if somebody is a devotee or is pious, then they will have mercy in their heart. So Shabari freed all these animals, and they all blessed her that now you have freed us. We cannot provide you anything, but we pray with all our heart that as you have freed us, similarly your Guru will free you from this ocean of material existence. Shabari left her home, and when she left her home, so she had so many options. She could have gone anywhere, but where did she go? So let's discuss that a little. So instead of going to the city or town, she
का मार्ग पकड़ा है. समझने लायक बात है भक्तों. वैसे भजन भक्ति कहीं भी हो सकती है। श्री ब्रह्मा जी ने भी कहा ना, स्थाने स्थिता श्रुतिगता तनुवाक मनोरभीर। भक्ति किसी पर डिपेंड नहीं होती, भक्ति किसी पर आधारित नहीं होती, भक्ति कहीं भी हो सकती है। परंतु जगत प्रपंच से दूर, जहां किसी का आना जाना नहीं होता, वहां भजन की हानि, भजन में विघ्न होने से बच जाता है। अर्थात भजन कहीं भी हो सकता है, लेकिन जगत प्रपंच से दूर, जहां किसी का आना जाना नहीं, जहां शांत वातावरण, वहां भजन अच्छे से हम कर सकते हैं, यदि करना चाहे तो। इसलिए हमारे शास्त्रों में कहा गया है कि कुछ ऐसे स्थान हैं जिन स्थानों पर भक्ति की वृद्धि होती है, यदि करना चाहो तो। बाकी ऐसे स्थानों पर जाकर भी लोग भक्ति नहीं ही करना चाहे तो फिर नहीं हो सकती। लेकिन भक्ति में सपोर्ट देने वाले कुछ स्थान, यदि आपके पास कोई ऑप्शन हो तो इन ऑप्शन को हमें लेना चाहिए भजन करने के लिए। भजन करने के लिए उपयुक्त स्थान कौन से हैं? कहते हैं, नदी किनारो गिरी शिखर, बाग इकुसो देश, भगवत जन बिल में तहां, बाढ़े भजन विशेष, बाढ़े भजन विशेष। भजन करने के लिए उपयुक्त स्थान तो सबसे पहले कहते हैं नदी किनारो।
So the most appropriate place to perform austerity or perform devotional service towards the Lord, then if you are living on the banks of Ganga ji, Yamuna ji, Saraswati, Narmada, etc., then it supports our devotional service towards the Lord. So, why did Shabari chose the forest is answered in this verse. She wanted to perform devotional service, so she needs such a place where her devotional service can manifest. That is on the banks of a river, and the second is on the cliff of a mountain. That is a preferable place. That is the reason that Devadidev, Mahadev, always performs austerity on the top or cliff of the mountain without any disturbance. And the third is a garden. Especially in our Gujarat, we have farms and we have mango groves, etc. So where there the place is surrounded with nature, there the devotional service can be more powerful. Although we can perform devotional service in such places as towns, etc., but it won't give us potency. So whenever the Lord wanted to perform, they chose forest. Ramji went from Ayodhya to the forest, while Krishna was born in Mathura, the city, but he left and went to Vrindavan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also followed the feet. So all these places support our devotional service.
या भगवत जन बिल में रहो, या जहां पर भगवान के भक्त रहते हैं,
and other place where our devotional service can be supported is a place where we can be surrounded by devotees. When we get association of devotees who have similar thought and mindset, then it supports our bhakti or devotional service. So once Hiranyakashipu asked Prahlad Maharaj that since 5 years you've been studying in the Gurukul, so what do you like the most? So Prahladji was dodging the question, yet Hiranyakashipu was persistent, and Prahlad Maharaj answers,
पिताजी,
he said, this family life and living in these big cities and towns and getting entangled in this material world, then our mind becomes more distressed. We should go to the forest and chant the holy names. We should approach Vrindavan. That is what I like the most. So to take the shelter of the Lord, we should go to the forest. That's what I like the most. That's what Prahlad answered. So these places are powerful in supporting our devotional service. So you all have read Bhagvat Gita, but there is a subject in Bhagvat Gita. Krishna told Arjuna that today I am announcing. So he announces, like Amindaran Prabhu, that these 20 things will be considered as knowledge. So what is the absolute truth or knowledge? So he said that these 20 things, I consider them as transcendental knowledge or gyan. And to base our life on these 20 things is knowledge.
आप लोग जानते हो? अरे जानते हो कि नहीं? हाँ के ना तो बोलो। ये 20 वस्तु जानते हो? गीता पढ़ते हो कि नहीं? केवल डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करते हो, पढ़ते हो कि नहीं? आइए चलो मैं केवल गिना देता हूँ।
So let me just enumerate all these 20 things. I'm sure you might be aware. So these are considered in transcendental knowledge or gyan. So this is in the 13th chapter from 8th to 12th verse. Krishna lists all these 20 things. So the first is humility, that is vinamrita, and that is considered as knowledge. So if you have humility or you're trying to be humble, then all of it is considered as knowledge. What is the essence of the knowledge? That is humility. So if you think that you are intellectual, then you should have humility.
क्योंकि मुझे उस पॉइंट पर चलना है, शबरी ने वन का मार्ग क्यों पकड़ा, उसे मैं भगवत गीता से कनेक्ट करना चाहता हूं.
So I'm connecting I'm sorry. So I'm connecting why Shabari went to the forest, and I'm connecting it with Bhagavad Gita. So the first point is humility. Second is non-hypocrisy. To be a non-hypocrite is also a form of knowledge. So people are different. And today is the world of hypocrisy. People just select on the basis of photo, and then after marriage, the person is totally different. So that is hypocrisy. And the third is non-violence. That also is considered as knowledge. And the fourth is Sahishnuta, that is tolerance. I consider that as knowledge. Fifth is simplicity, saralta. So who is simpleton, who is non-violent or tolerant or non-hypocrite or humble, then they all are considered as knowledgeable or intellectual. Even if you have memorized all these verses, but if you don't lack these qualities, then you're not considered as intellectual. And the sixth is to approach a bona fide spiritual master under the disciplic succession is the pathway of knowledge. Seventh is purity, that is pavitrata. And eighth is fixation of the mind, then control of the senses, atma sanyam, that is controlling the senses. And 10th is to detach ourselves from sense gratification
इसे मैं ज्ञान कंसीडर
so
कितने हुए 10 हुए
this is also considered as knowledge. So 11th is getting ourselves relieved from ego. 12th is
जो गीता में कृष्ण कहते हैं जन्म मृत्यु जरा व्याधि दुख दोषानु दर्शनम किसी का जन्म होता हो ना आपके अगल बगल में तो दर्शन करना
repeated birth, the cycle of birth, death, etc. and disease, we should go there. We should all go and visit such places because that make us realize that this is our future. And to realize that is also considered as knowledge. 13th is detachment or vairagya. 14th is to be detached from our familial or filial affection. So we have an attachment towards our filial affection. It is quite natural. But the Lord tells in Bhagvat Gita that we should try to detach ourselves from them. Then to be fixed in any situation, whether we face a distress or we get a happy news, we should be stable. 16th is self-realization, to accept the glory of self-realization, and we should know that we should try to achieve self-realization. So this also is considered as knowledge. And the 17th is the search of the absolute truth. And who is the highest or supreme personality of Godhead? This also is considered as knowledge. Now the 3 are remaining. So these 3 that are remaining are connected to Shabari Mata. So let me share with the verse in front of your screens.
Bhakti vyabhicharini vivikta desha sevitvam vivikta desha
sevitvam
janasansadi arati janasansadi. तो इन वस्तुओं को मैं ज्ञान कंसीडर करता हूं तो 17 वस्तु ही 18वीं वस्तु पहली 2 लाइन में लिखी है.
18th thing is mentioned in the first 2 lines.
व्यभिचारिणी मेरी अनन्य भक्ति करना,
to perform
भक्ति करना माने
unalloyed devotional service towards me, only performing devotional service for me is considered as knowledge. So the point we were discussing is that why Shabari Mata went to the forest? Because the forest is an appropriate place to perform austerity or devotional service. So if we live in the town or city, then we will be more materially engrossed and entangled, and we cannot perform devotional service towards the Lord. So he says, Vivikta Desh Sevitvam, that is a desire to stay in a lonely place, secluded place, that is considered as knowledge. So a appropriate place is a secluded place where we can perform devotional service without getting disturbed. That is knowledge. So this secluded place is under in the forest or on the banks of the river or in association of the devotees. Then also it is considered as secluded place. In temples we have thousands of devotees, but all have the same goal, to perform Sankirtan or chant the holy names. Then their goal is one, and that is considered as a appropriate place or secluded place.
और दूसरा लास्ट में कहते हैं अरति जन संसदी, जन संसदी, जन समूह के साथ अरति, मतलब जन.
So arati means detachment from the people surrounding us. So we all have our responsibility towards our family. And if I have to say Gujarati, but we should not try to entangle ourselves into unnecessary material relationships. We should keep them minimum. rather than trying to entangle ourselves more in the distant relationships, etc. So to have a detachment from all these so gradually we should try to distance ourselves from the distant relatives if we want to progress in performing our devotional service towards the Lord. Then we should be careful with all these things.
जहां पर जैसे जैसे
So
आप
where-
हरिनाम जाप करते हो, मैं एक प्रैक्टिकल मुझे बहुत
So let me give you a practical example. Somebody asked me that you tell that you should go to the temple and chant the holy name. It's a good thing, but while you're chanting, if the kid is crying, then you will have to leave the chanting and focus on the child. So either the phone will disturb, or so there might be so many disturbances. So it's better to take a detachment of 1 or 2 hours and just chant the holy names of the Lord in the temple. And gradually it will give us a practice to detach ourselves from the world, because one day we are going to leave everything behind. So it will become easier if we practice gradually. So in totality, Shabari accepted to go to the forest instead of going towards the town or city. So so a person who leaves all these things and live in a forest, and the best forest is Vrindavan, and they get the special mercy of the Lord. If someone leaves all these ego, material entanglement, etc., and try to please the Lord by performing devotional service towards the Lord, then they get or attain the Lord. A saint said, you say that you're not worried, that I can protect myself even from bad association. Then the saint replies, if you live amongst cowards, then will your bravery survive? You will lose your courage. If you sit near a flower, then you will get the smell of the flower, no matter how much you try to detach yourself. So if you sit near a person you desire, then obviously your desire will increase. So if we stay at home, then will we get detached or will we become entangled? And he concludes, he says that in the room filled with the coal, If you go to a godown of coal, then even if you protect yourself, no matter how, but you will get a stain or two. So in this material entanglement, no matter how much you try to be safe and protected, but somehow you will get attached. So intelligence says that if you get an opportunity, then you should proceed towards the forest. And if you have to go or approach a forest, then you should approach which forest?
હે મારું વન રાવણ છે રૂડું વૈકુંઠ નહીં રે આવું. હાલો હાલો. હે મારું વન રાવણ છે રૂડું વૈકુંઠ નહીં રે આવું. આવું હો નંદજીના લાલ રે વૈકુંઠ નહીં રે આવું. મારું વન રાવણ છે બેસીને રેવું મારે ડગ ડગ જોઉં. બેસીને રેવું મારે ડગ ડગ જોઉં. એ નહીં ખાવું ને નહીં મારે પીવું નંદજીના લાલ રે વૈકુંઠ નહીં રે આવું. મારું વન રાવણ છે રૂડું મારું રૂડું છે વન રાવણ વૈકુંઠ નહીં રે આવું. મેતા નરસૈયાનો સ્વામી રે શામળિયો. મેતા નરસૈયાનો સ્વામી રે શામળિયો. એ તો મીરાનો ગિરિધર લાલ રે વૈકુંઠ નહીં રે આવું. મારો મારું રૂડું છે વન રાવણ વૈકુંઠ નહીં રે આવું. ब्रिज की सब बाला रूप रसाला. ब्रिज की सब बाला रूप रसाला करी बेहाला नंद लाला. ए लागी तन ज्वाला विपत विशाला दिन दयाला नंद लाला. आए नहीं आला कृष्ण कृपाला बंसीवाला बनवारी. कामण सुखकारी मित्र मुरारी गए विसारी. गिरिधारी रे जी गए विसारी. गिरिधारी रे आषाढ़ उचारम मेघमल्हार, आषाढ़ उचारम मेघमल्हारम बने बहारम जलधारम, दादूर डकारम मयूर पुकारम चढ़िया तारम विस्तारम, ना नहीं संभारम प्यास्य पारम नंद कुमारम निर्ख्यारी, एक हो राधे प्यारी मैं बलिहारी, गोकुल आवो गिरिधारी ने जी गोकुल आवो, श्री वृंदावन धाम की बरसाने वाली की, जगत गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम हरे राम। एक बार क्या हुआ, सुनिए आप सुनिए।
So it so happened, just listen carefully. There was a bird who used to live in a garden.
अपने मित्र, उस बगीचे का पक्षी का एक मित्र था जो वन में,
and he had one friend who used to reside in a forest. So he went to the friend who used to reside in the forest.
अपने फ्रेंड अपने मित्र उस पक्षी के साथ कुछ दिन रहा,
and he stayed there for a while. So what does a bird of the forest have or possess? He had some fruits and flowers from the forest. When he returned back to his home, so his friend said that you should, and he invited his friend that you should also come and stay with us. And see, we have so many beautiful flowers and fruits in the garden. So the bird of the forest thought, okay, let's go. So he came along with the other bird and they stayed there in the garden, and he saw beautiful flowers and fruits, but there was a gardener as well. And what does a gardener will do? So whenever he was about to approach the fruit that he desired to eat, so as soon as he approached there, the gardener will shake the tree or put a bell, and this bird couldn't eat. And again he was disturbed by the gardener. So he tried for 3-4 days, but he was unable to eat in all these 3-4 days. After 3 days, the bird of the forest said that I want to take your leave. So he said that why you don't want to stay here? He said that here we have everything, but there is so much disturbance and it is making my life difficult. So similarly, in our homes, in our villages, or in our cities and towns, we have higher facilities and comforts, but there is disturbance as well, and that disturbance doesn't supports our devotional service. If we have little less comfort, then that is acceptable, but we should have a life which is free of distress and disturbance. So Shabari Mata went to the forest because she didn't wanted any disturbance. And she started thinking, what shall I do now in the forest? So she saw a huge hermitage, and in that hermitage, she wanted to serve the sages and hermits of that hermitage. So she had this desire to serve them. Please remember one thing, to desire to serve the Lord is the mercy of the Lord, that is Bhagvat Kripa. But to have a desire to serve the devotees of the Lord is a very, very rare. Mercy of the Lord. So Shabari didn't have the desire to serve the Lord, but she got the desire to serve the devotees of the Lord. So we are listening to the Katha, but we are listening the Katha with philosophy. So when she decided that she will serve the devotees of the Lord, then there will be a question that why she wanted to serve the devotees of the Lord. And there are 3 reasons for the same as well. And they are very great philosophical points that we should try to understand, and we'll proceed further. But before that, we'll listen to some announcements and information, and after that we'll proceed further.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So thank you very much to श्रीमान लाल गोविंद जी कि आज इस तृतीय दिवस की कथा में बहुत ही सुंदर हम कथा आस्वादन कर रहे हैं। भगवान श्री माता शबरी के गुणों को यहाँ पर श्रीमद् भगवद गीता के उस श्लोक में जहाँ पर भगवान ज्ञानी के 20 गुण बताते हैं, उनमें से कुछ प्रभु जी ने जो अंत में बताए कि शबरी माता के अंदर श्रीमद् भगवद गीता के उस श्लोक के अनुसार वो 3 गुण पाए गए, तो और उसके पूर्व भी जो ज्ञानी होते हैं, जो अपने आप को कहते हैं कि हम ज्ञानी हैं, तो उनके अंदर बहुत सारे गुण हैं। जो 20 गुण प्रभु जी ने सुनाए उसमें से है विनम्रता है, जो नम्र होता है। नम्र क्यों होता है? क्योंकि उनको ज्ञान हो जाता है ना, उनके अंदर वो अहम नहीं होता है, इसीलिए तो वो नम्र होता है। और दिस इज कंसिडर्ड एज अ नॉलेज अकॉर्डिंग टू लॉर्ड कृष्णा। सो ऐसे ही 20 और चीजें भगवान ने बहुत सुंदर गिनाई भगवद गीता के उस 13वें अध्याय के 8वें से लेकर 20वें श्लोक में इस गुणों का वर्णन किया है भगवान ने जहाँ पर कहा है। तो बहुत ही सुंदर प्रभु जी इस श्लोक में आपने बताया कि, और शबरी माता के विशेष जो 3 गुण आपने बताए, और साथ ही साथ भजन करने के लिए जो उपयुक्त स्थान है वो भी आपने बताया कि जो वन है वास्तव में जो नेचर के नजदीक, प्रकृति के जो नजदीक में ही वास्तव में हम अच्छे से भजन कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि वहां पर स्वाभाविक मन लगता है। तो बहुत ही सुंदर बात है, और हम सबको भी प्रयास करना चाहिए कि धीरे धीरे ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा प्रकृति के नज़दीक रहें और भजन करने का प्रयास करें, जिससे कि हमारा मन और अच्छे से भगवान के नाम में लगे और भगवान की सेवा में लग सके। सो दिस आर द थिंग्स। और अपार्ट फ्रॉम दिस, बहुत ही सुंदर सर्वप्रथम प्रभु जी ने बताया था कि कैसे ये जो हम रूपानुग है, श्रील रूप गोस्वामी की हम परंपरा में हैं, और रूप गोस्वामी ने बहुत ही सुंदर बताया कि भक्ति एकदम सरल चीज़ है। एनीबडी कैन डू, नो वन कैन कोई ऐसे अपवाद नहीं कर सकता है कि भजन करने के लिए कोई एक्सक्यूज नहीं दे सकता है, क्योंकि भक्ति इतनी सरल है। और उसमें से ही बहुत सुंदर सुंदर श्लोक के माध्यम से, जो पद्यावली के श्लोक में से प्रभु जी ने हम सबको वहां पर गिनाया कि कैसे जो वो शिकारी था, ही हैज अ हैबिट ऑफ किलिंग, बट वो भी भगवान की भक्ति कर पाया। उसके पश्चात ध्रुव महाराज एकदम बालक थे, और बालक होते हुए भी बहुत ही सुंदर प्रकार से वो भक्ति की और भगवान को प्राप्त किए। साथ ही साथ बहुत ही सुंदर गजेंद्र was not having any kind of knowledge of Lord, जजाप जन्म है, प्राग जन्म, उनके जो पूर्व जन्म में भगवान का भक्त था, वो स्मरण हो गया और अंत समय में भगवान को प्राप्त कर गया। तो गजेंद्र थ्रू आउट हिज लाइफ ही वाज नॉट हैविंग दिस नॉलेज, बट अंत समय में उन्होंने भगवान को प्राप्त किया, इसलिए गजेंद्र का विद्या, उनके पास कौन सी ऐसी विद्या थी जिससे कि वो भगवान की भक्ति कर सका। तो दीज आर द स्विमी, बहुत सारे ऐसे भक्त है, जैसे कुब्जा का बताया प्रभु जी ने, कुब्जा के पास ऐसा कोई रूप नहीं था, परंतु उन्होंने जब भगवान का ऐसा सुंदर रूप देखा तो उस रूप को देखकर मोहित हो गई। और जो चंदन वो महाराज कंस के लिए अब तक लेके जाते थे, भगवान की सुंदरता देखकर उन्होंने कंस का भय है जो उनके अंदर से वो पूर्ण चला गया और भगवान की सेवा के लिए वो चंदन उनको दे दिया और भगवान को सुंदर लेप किया और भगवान ने उनका उद्धार किया। तो कुब्जा जिनके पास कोई रूप नहीं था, भगवान ने उनको स्पर्श किया, तो इतनी सुंदर बन गई माता कुब्जा और उनकी जो भक्ति भगवान ने देखी। सो बहुत ही सुंदर। उसके पश्चात सुदामा, हम कहते हैं कि हमारे पास धन आएगा तो हम भजन भक्ति करेंगे, बट सुदामा वाज प्रैक्टिकली पेनीलेस। उनके पास इतना भी धन नहीं था कि वो 2 वक्त का खाना खा सके। ही यूज्ड टू गो टू आल्म, बैगिंग करने के लिए जाते थे, कभी कभी मिलता था भिक्षा, कभी मिलती कभी नहीं मिलती। तो सुदामा जी अपने बच्चों को भगवान की कथा सुनाकर ही उनका पेट भर दिया करते थे। तो सुदामा के पास ऐसा कोई धन नहीं था जिससे कि वो कह सके कि मेरे पास धन आए तो मैं भक्ति करूंगा। तो ऐसे बहुत सारे उदाहरण हैं। उनमें से विदुर जी, कभी कभी हम वंश का भी कहते हैं कि वंश, विदुर जी के पास ऐसा कौन सा वंश था, परंतु और उग्रसेन के पास ऐसा कोई पराक्रम नहीं था। तो ये सुंदर श्लोक में प्रभु जी ने बहुत सुंदर बताया कि कैसे भगवान है वो इन सारी चीजों को निग्लेक्ट, देखते नहीं है कि आपके पास रूप है, गुण है, ये सारी चीजों को नहीं देखता। ही जस्ट सी कि वो कितना सिंपल है, कितना भक्ति करता है, सरल है। तो भगवान सरलता देखते हैं और क्योंकि भगवान के भजन करते तो भगवान आपके अंदर जो हमारे अंदर क्वालिटीज है, डिसक्वालिटीज है, उसको निग्लेक्ट करते थे, उनको देखते ही नहीं है भगवान। क्योंकि भगवान के अंदर एक बहुत सुंदर गुण है, वो ये है कि वो किसी भी प्रकार की हमारे अंदर जो दुर्गुण है, अवगुण है, उसको देखते नहीं। अगर देखते होते तो शायद हम लोग इस वक्त अमृत चर्चा में नहीं बैठे होते, क्योंकि वी ऑल नो आवर बैकग्राउंड फ्रॉम वेयर वी आर कमिंग फ्रॉम। तो दिस इज द क्वालिटी ऑफ भगवान की भक्ति की ये बहुत बड़ा गुण है कि कृष्ण सारग्राही हैं। और बहुत सुंदर प्रभु जी ने यहाँ पर आज इस भजन में हमें बताया, ब्राह्मणों के अनेक गुणों से बताया, लेकिन ब्राह्मण के अंदर इतने गुण होते हुए भी यदि वो भगवान की भजन नहीं करता है तो इज नॉट एक्चुअली भगवान का भक्त नहीं है। बहुत सुंदर प्रभु जी, थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर दिस वंडरफुल आज की कथा के अंतर्गत बहुत ही सुंदर एक फिलोसॉफिकल कि भजन भी हर कोई कर सकता है और भजन के लिए जो अनुकूल स्थान है वो आपने बताया। थैंक यू वेरी मच प्रभु जी। आइए हम निवेदन करें पुनः श्रीमान लाल गोविंद जी से कि शेष कथा को श्रवण कराएं। हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। शबरी माता घर छोड़कर वन में आई है।
So Shabari Mata has come to the forest after leaving her home, and she had a great desire to serve the devotees of the Lord, the hermits and sages. So the question is that instead of trying to serve the Lord, why does she desire to serve the devotees of the Lord? So there are 3 major reasons that I want to present to you. The first and foremost is
गुरु या संतों की सेवा करना ही
to serve a bona fide spiritual master, that is a guru or a devotee of the Lord, is the fundamental nature
गुरु
of
या
a
किसी
devotee.
भक्त या किसी संत की सेवा करना है.
So, if we want to see that whether we are a devotee or not, then we should see whether we serve the devotee of the Lord. So, Srila Prabhupada was questioned that why did you organize this organization? He immediately replied, I did it for my bona fide spiritual master. So let me share my heartfelt realization that my job here is not to perform Bhagvat Katha or speak Bhagvatam. I'm not singing Bhagvatam, but I'm singing my Guru or bona fide spiritual master. My goal is not to give you pure devotional service towards the Lord. My task is to take you to the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. That is our responsibility. Because even I cannot approach towards the Lord, then how can I take you towards the Lord? But Srila Prabhupada's message and Gurudev's message, I am repeating to make you take the shelter of Srila Prabhupada and a devotee of great devotee of the Lord, then definitely we'll get the shelter of the Lord itself. So the eternal nature of a devotee is to serve the bona fide spiritual master. It is a guru or a Vaishnava. That is the devotee of the Lord. So if we serve the Lord, then it is a business of loss. But it is highly beneficial if we serve the devotees of the Lord. If you so if you ask for the reference, then I will tell you that from Garud Puran, this is the verse which I have searched for all of you. So the Lord Vishnu tells Garud Ji in this verse,
संशयो च्युत से विना निःसंशयस्तु तद्भक्त परिचर्यारतात्मनां अद्भुत. टांक लीजिएगा ये कहीं भी.
You should note down this verse.
आप अपनी सेवा में सिद्ध होंगे. वाह माने अथवा न इति नहीं भी होंगे.
Even if you don't become perfect in your veneration or religious practices, or maybe not.
आप अपनी साधना में सिद्ध होंगे वा नहीं भी होंगे. क्या कर
So you may not be perfect in the service. You may or may not become perfect in your religious principles if we serve the lotus feet of the infallible Achyut, that is the Lord. So if we serve the Lord, then there is a doubt. If we serve the Lord, then there is a doubt that our sadhana or service will be perfect or complete or not. So it's a doubtful case.
समझ रहे हैं आप? इसका अर्थ क्या हुआ? आप सीधे किसी दुकान से लड्डू गोपाल को लाकर बिठा दिए और लड्डू गोपाल की सेवा करने लगे। ये सेवा पहुंच रही है या नहीं,
You
इसमें डाउट
bring
है।
a Laddu Gopal from the
प्रमाण
store
गरुड़
and
पुराण।
start serving them, then even if you're serving, whether
राधा कृष्ण
it
की
is
पूछताछ
reaching the
विग्रह
Lord
है
or
और उसकी
not,
सेवा करे,
and
ये
it
सेवा
is doubtful.
सिद्ध मानी
So
ये सेवा पहुंच रही है या नहीं, उसमें संशय है।
whether we are performing it
किसी भी
perfectly or
प्रकार की
not,
पूजा
whether it
साधना
is
कुछ भी ले लीजिए,
reaching the Lord or not, we are not
डायरेक्ट
sure.
भगवान की सेवा करने में
If
संशय
we
है।
directly
सिद्धे भवति
try
वा
to
न
perform
भवति,
devotional service towards the
संशय
Lord
अच्युत
or
सेवा
sadhana,
अच्युत की
then
सेवा करने में ये संशय है। लेकिन
it is doubtful.
निसंशयस्तु तद भक्त, लेकिन उस अच्युत के, भगवान कृष्ण के जो
But
भक्त है,
the
उस
devotees
अच्युत की
of
सेवा
the
करने में
Lord,
निसंशय कोई
infallible
संशय
Achyut,
नहीं है।
then there is no doubt.
परिचर्या रतात्म नाम, भक्त की सेवा करने में, तद भक्त की सेवा,
So if we
उनकी
serve
परिचर्या
the devotees
करने
of the
में
Lord,
निसंशय, उसमें कोई संशय नहीं, अर्थात
then there is no
भक्त की
doubt.
सेवा करोगे तो आपकी
So
साधना भी सिद्ध होगी, पूजा भी सिद्ध होगी,
if we
आपकी सेवा सिद्ध होगी।
if we serve the devotees of the Lord, then our religious principles or
आपके मंदिर में
sadhana
जो जो डिटीज
or
हैं,
veneration
मैं
will
हम
be,
ब्रह्मबद्धो गौड़ीय धारा के इस्कॉन के भक्तों की बात कर रहा हूँ, चाहे भले हमारे घर पर गौर
will be
निताई है, लड्डू गोपाल है, राधा कृष्ण है, जो भी
sanctified.
विग्रह है, भले वो भगवान है
So
और हम
although
रात दिन
the
भगवान की
deities
सेवा
we
कर
have
रहे
in
हैं,
our homes
लेकिन
and
मन
we are
में
serving them,
कॉन्शियसनेस रखिए,
but we
हम
should have
भगवान
this
की सेवा नहीं कर
consciousness.
रहे हैं,
We
हम
are not
हमारे गुरु की
serving
सेवा कर रहे हैं।
these deities, but
गुरु
we are
की आज्ञा
serving
है इसलिए
our
भगवान की सेवा कर रहे हैं।
spiritual master,
हमारे अंदर कोई
because
योग्यता नहीं है,
he
लेकिन
has
गुरु ने हमें दीक्षा दी है, गुरु ने हमें
given
शिक्षा
us
दी है, गुरु ने
initiation
हमें आज्ञा
and
दी है,
knowledge and permission or order
इसलिए
to serve
चाहे
them.
भले हम
That
लड्डू
is why
गोपाल
we
की
are
सेवा
serving
करें,
them.
हम राधा कृष्ण की
Even
सेवा
if
करें, नो
we are
प्रॉब्लम,
serving Laddu Gopal or Radha
लेकिन ये
Krishna
राधा कृष्ण
or
की
Gaurnitai,
सेवा
but
हमारे लिए राधा कृष्ण की सेवा नहीं
this
है, गुरु की
service
सेवा है,
should
क्योंकि गुरु की आज्ञा में कर रहे
be
हैं, और
under
क्योंकि ये गुरु की आज्ञा में कर रहे
the
हैं, तब तो
order
सिद्ध
of the Lord.
भवति, तो
Then
सिद्ध
it
होगी।
will be
और
sanctified.
गुरु की आज्ञा में नहीं कर रहे हैं,
But if it's
डाउट
not
है। मैं
without
सीधा
his
ओपन तो आपको
permission, then
निराश नहीं
there is
करूंगा,
a doubt. So I
लेकिन
don't
डाउट है, कुछ गड़बड़ है, संशय है कि आपकी सेवा
I
पहुंच
don't
रही
want to
है,
dishearten
सिद्ध
you
हो रही
all,
है कि नहीं हो रही है।
but there is a doubt
लेकिन हाँ,
whether it is
किसी गुरु के मार्गदर्शन में, साधु के मार्गदर्शन
being
में, हैं? हम राधा
perfected
कृष्ण की सेवा,
under
में बार बार कह रहा हूँ, हमारे घर पर ठाकुर
the
जी
Lord
है,
or not.
नो प्रॉब्लम, ठाकुर जी की हम सेवा करते हैं, नो प्रॉब्लम, लेकिन कॉन्शियसनेस क्या होनी चाहिए, ये
So
ठाकुर की
even
सेवा
if we
नहीं,
are serving
ये
the
मेरे
Lord,
गुरु की सेवा कर
we
रहा हूँ,
should have the consciousness that we
क्योंकि
are
गुरु की आज्ञा
serving
से मैं कर रहा हूँ,
our
गुरु आज्ञा
bona fide
महत्वपूर्ण है
spiritual
वहां पर।
master. We are doing it under the
और जो लोग बिना गुरु आज्ञा
shelter
के
of
जो भी सेवा साधना भक्ति करते हैं, वो साधना भक्ति सेवा
so
सिद्ध
whatever
होगी या नहीं, इसमें बहुत बड़ा संशय है,
devotional
और
service
बड़ा
or
प्रश्न
sadhana
मार्क है।
we perform, whether
इसलिए
it is
सभी
sanctified or not,
संतों
there
के सानिध्य में
is a
सेवा करें।
big question mark there.
यहाँ पर प्रश्न ये था भक्तों कि शबरी ने भगवान की सेवा न की,
So the
भगवान के
question
भक्तों
here
की
was
सेवा,
that
संतों
why
की सेवा
Shabari
क्यों की,
chose to serve
क्योंकि
the
भगवान
devotees
की
of the
सेवा
Lord
करने
rather
में
than serving the Lord,
सिद्धि मिलेगी या नहीं, डाउट है,
because
लेकिन
there
संतों की
can
सेवा
be a
करने
doubt
में
if we serve the
सिद्धि
Lord,
अवश्य
but
मिलेगी,
when
इसमें
we
कोई
serve the
संशय
devotee of the Lord, then
नहीं।
there
अब आप
is no
बताइए
doubt that we
बेटर
will
क्या है, किसकी सेवा करना
get
बेटर है,
our devotional service
शबरी ने जो मार्ग
sanctified.
चुना,
So which
संतों की सेवा
way
करने
is
का,
better?
ये बेटर मार्ग है। और एक पॉइंट
So
सुनिए,
Shabari Mata's
एक कारण
way
हमने सुना,
is
अब दूसरा कारण सुनिए,
better.
शबरी
So there is
भगवान की
another
सेवा
reason.
न करके संतों की सेवा क्यों कर रही है। पहला कारण तो आप समझ गए कि भगवान की सेवा करने में सिद्धि में डाउट है, संतों की सेवा में कोई डाउट नहीं, गरुड़ पुराण इसका प्रमाण।
And we took the reference from Garud Puran for the first reason. So now let's listen to the second reason. In Shrimad Bhagavatam's 5th canto, Lord Rishabdev reaches his sons and he tells them This human life is not to indulge in sense gratification, but to perform devotional service towards the Lord.
दिव्य तपस्या भजन करने के लिए मनुष्य जीवन मिला है,
and to perform austerity. So Lord Rishabh Dev said further,
मयि वासुदेवे यावत प्रीति न जायते तावत इदम देहम न मुच्यते. जब तक मुझ वासुदेव कृष्ण में प्रेम नहीं होगा,
that till the point you have an attachment towards the Lord, you will never get any benefit or welfare. Then his sons said that we understood that this human body is to perform devotional service towards the Lord. Then they had a question that how are we going to achieve this pure devotional service towards the Lord? If you want beauty or riches or healthy body, then you can get it from the Lord. But the Lord doesn't have bhakti. Bhakti or devotional service is with the pure devotees of the Lord. So if you want the perform the devotional service towards the Lord, then you should serve exalted devotees of the Lord, and that is the door for liberation.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. बोले जोर से. आप कहोगे हम बोलेंगे भी तो कैसे सुनाई देगा. पड़ोसी बाजू में घर पर आ जाता है, इतना जोर से तो बोलता है. कीर्ति भाई जोरથી महामंत्र बोले तो पेशન્ટ એમ ન લાગે ગાંડો થઈ ગયો લાગે. આપણે આવ્યા છીએ ડોક્ટર પાસે અને ડોક્ટર સાહેબને કંઈક થઈ ગયું લાગે. खैर, सो जब तक भगवान से प्रेम नहीं करोगे, भक्ति नहीं करोगे, उद्धार नहीं होगा. भक्ति कैसे?
Until we love the Lord and perform devotional service towards Him, we won't get any benefit. But to get that pure devotional service towards the Lord, then that can be achieved only by serving the exalted or pure devotees of the Lord. The unalloyed devotion towards the Lord is not with the Lord, but with the devotees of the Lord. So Shabari Mata wants to serve the devotees of the Lord. Now the third and last reason, that is the most important of, and which is easy for us to comprehend or understand. If a woman is pregnant, and if somebody serves her, then that person gets double benefit, because she is serving not only the woman but also the baby in her womb. So she gets the benefit of serving two living entities. Similarly, if we serve only the Lord, then we'll get the benefit of only serving the Lord. But if we serve the devotees of the Lord, then we get double benefit, not only of the devotee, but also the Lord has already manifested in the hearts of such exalted pure devotees.
लेकिन संतों की सेवा करने में संतों की सेवा का फल भी है और भगवान की सेवा का भी फल है, क्योंकि संत चलते फिरते तीर्थ है। संत जो है
Because these devotees are epitome of the holy places or dham, because the Lord always manifests in their hearts.
तीर्थम कुर्वन्ति तीर्थानि, क्यों? क्योंकि स्वांत स्थेन गदा भृता, संत के अंतःकरण में भगवान प्रकट रूप से होते हैं। इसलिए शबरी कुल मिलाकर संतों की सेवा करने का निश्चय,
Shabari has decided to serve the devotees of the Lord.
कर लिया संतों की सेवा करूंगी, परंतु शबरी मन में सोचने लगी,
So she has decided that I want to serve them, but then she realized that she is from the lower strata of the society. She is born in the lower class, and she has no authority to serve the saints or sages. I cannot do anything directly for them. In our mankind, there are so many clans and castes.
यवन, शबर, इन सब जातियों को निम्न माना गया है।
A few are considered lower
शबरी अपने आप को निम्न
class,
की मानती थी,
and she
सोचा कि मैं संतों की सेवा
recognized herself born in a lower class. So she said that I cannot do the service directly for them, but I will serve them indirectly or from a far place. So what did she do? She
वन के संत शौचालय के लिए जिस स्थान पर जाते उस स्थान को साफ करने,
so the place where they used to freshen up and take a bath, so there Shabari started cleaning that place, and the place which they used to cross, they used to clean that place. She used to fill the water, drinking water for them in the pots, and she started arranging woods for them so that they can prepare food. And she did whatever they required. And in such a manner, instead of coming, but she started serving them indirectly. She started sweeping their restrooms and provided them with water, etc. So whoever doesn't want to serve or perform any service, then they have so many excuses. Oh, we are not feeling well today. My hand is paining, I cannot cut vegetables. But a person who wants to perform service, they find a way to serve.
हनुमान जी के विषय में हम नहीं देखते,
when we see the pastime of Hanumanji, Hanumanji always used to stay with Ramji, and after killing Ravana, they stayed in Ayodhya, and he always used to serve Lord Sri Ram. Ayodhya Vasis or residents of Ayodhya were disturbed that we got no opportunity to serve the Lord. So when Hanumanji was not there, so what did so they planned and made a committee, and they distributed all the services. So they said, Hanumanji was told that there is no service for you now. Whenever there is a service, we'll call you. So Hanumanji got worried that oh, now I'll have to stay away from the Lord. So he said that, okay, let me check the list of all the services. So they gave him the list, and he saw he invested all his intellect and have enumerated all the services towards the Lord. But Hanumanji is the most intellectual of all. He is the epitome of intellect. So he said that there is one service that is not mentioned here, and give that service to me. So the committee members started fighting with each other that there is something missing, but you don't agree. So they said that, what is the service that is not mentioned here in this list? So Hanumanji said that there is one service whenever Lord Sri Ram yawns, then please give me the service to clasp our fingers. So he said that just give me that service. And there is no way to know when he is going to yawn. So I will be there with the Lord. Jai Shri Ram. And he went inside the palace of the Lord. So a person who wants to serve, they can find any service to perform. But who doesn't wants to perform, they avoid and find excuses. So for many days and months passed, all these sages and saints became elated and happy. They thought that, and what was the cause of their happiness? First, that such a difficult service, they leave immediately. Even if somebody performs a small service, they want appreciation, but somebody is doing such a difficult job and yet they disappear. So the sages were quite satisfied and happy. Second, they were thinking that we can see the services being performed, but we are not able to find the servitor who is performing these services. But in today's world, we can see the servitors, but no service at all. So they were happy that at least somebody with mind, body, and soul was giving service. And if we see such a person who has who is serving with mind, body, and speech, then we can get purified.
So Shabari Mata सेवा कर रही है, सारे साधु संत प्रसन्न.
So Shabari Mata is serving them, and all the sages and saints are satisfied. But amongst those, some of them thought that it's great that somebody is serving without any cost or payment. But there was one sage whose name was Matang Rishi. So this new character is being introduced in her pastime. That is Sri Matang Rishi. So amongst these thousands of sages, Matang Rishi, his name itself reveals his quality. Let me tell you three things about him. So according to the Vedic injunctions or scriptures, Matang Rishi was asang. That is, he was completely detached from all the material entanglements. In this world, the attachment is the thing that we should. The attachment is the thing that we should all try to detach ourselves from.
कृष्ण अर्जुन से कहते हैं, अर्जुन किसी भी वस्तु का इस दुनिया में किसी भी व्यक्ति का और वस्तु का ज्यादा ध्यान
Krishna tells Arjuna that if you memorize or if we remember someone, then sooner or later we'll get attached to them. If we meditate on someone, then definitely we'll get attached to them.
किसी भी व्यक्ति वस्तु का ज्यादा ध्यान करने से उसकी आसक्ति हो जाती है और
if we get attached to some person by thinking about them, then if our attachment is not fulfilled, then we get angry. That attachment results into lust, and that lust results in anger, and the anger destroys everything. So, oh Arjuna, you should try to be aloof from all the attachments. And Matang Rishi has achieved this feat. So what is the reason that he is detached from all the attachments of the world? And that is because of his quality, that is in his name. Matang means mad ang, that is whose limbs are all ecstatic with the pure devotional service of the Lord's, or whose every limb is filled with bliss and ecstasy by service of the Lord. Because he was filled with pure devotional service towards the Lord, he was filled with the mellows towards the Lord, and his heart was overwhelmed with bhakti or love towards the Lord. So sometimes people say that we should be detached from all the material attachments, but what will we achieve? But if we fill our heart with the love of and service of the Lord, then automatically we will get detached from all the material attachments. Our heart becomes filled with anand, that is bliss. So he was filled with the love towards the Lord. Shukdev was a great detached sage, but sooner or later he became a great speaker of Bhagvatam and filled with the love of the Lord. And the third meaning of Matang is elephant. So Matang Rishi's work was similar to an elephant. So we are going to listen to the pastime when Matang Rishi and Shabari Mata meet. Matang Rishi says, "You are like my daughter, you stay in my hermitage." But Shabari says that no, I am from a lower clan, or caste. And if I stay there, then people will criticize you that how he has kept such a woman in his hermitage.
तो शबरी मना करती है कि आप मुझे अपने आश्रम में रखोगे तो लोग आपकी निंदा आपके विषय में कितना भला बुरा कहेंगे। तब मतंग ऋषि ने कहा कि
Then Matang Rishi
मतंग है
answers or replies that my name is Matang. He says that my
हाथी का गुण तो जानती है, हाथी जब बाजार में
name means elephant. Then, and you know that when an elephant walks, then dogs bark. Yet the elephant remains unmoved and he keeps walking. So he had this quality of an elephant. So people criticized him, yet, and people were jealous of him, but he still remained constant on his path.
मानो मतंग ऋषि कहते, मतंग के भाव में कहते हैं, चिराग देख कर मेरे मचल रही है हवा। गौर फरमाइए, चिराग देखकर मेरे मचल रही है हवा, कई दिनों से बहुत तेज चल रही है हवा। बना रहे थे किस्से मेरी तबाही के, बना रहे थे किस्से मेरी तबाही के, उन्हें खबर ही नहीं कि रुख बदल रही है हवा। उन्हें खबर ही नहीं कि रुख बदल रही है हवा। मुझे ऊंचाइयों पर देखकर हैरान है बहुत लोग, मुझे ऊंचाइयों पर देखकर हैरान है बहुत लोग, लेकिन किसी ने मेरे पैरों के छाले कहां देखे हैं। लेकिन किसी ने मेरे पैरों के छाले ही नहीं देखे। मुझे ऊंचाइयों पर देखकर हैरान है बहुत लोग। जो हैरान है उसको होने तो हैरान है? यहां तो हवा रुख बदल रही है। सो मतंग ऋषि माने, मतंग माने हाथी, संसार के लोगों से
Matang means elephant, and he was not disturbed by people's opinion about him. And this Matang Rishi who used to stay amongst these sages said that so many months somebody is serving us and he leaves. So he told his disciples that you should grab that thief. So the disciples said that how can he be a thief? What has he stolen from you? Or in fact, he is serving you. So he said that is why I'm telling you that grab the thief or catch the thief. So if we ask Matang Rishi that what has Shabari stolen, then he answers that she has stolen three things. First, the service that we used to do or perform on our, that is being snatched away from us. To get a service is a great achievement. We don't understand the gravity of the service. It doesn't get it anyway. But we understand it as a huge burden. According to Shastra, it is a great wealth. So he said that she has stolen our service, wealth of service. And second, we all are sadhak. And in such stage, if somebody serves us, then we will lose our sadhana. So he or she is stealing our devotional service towards the Lord. Raghunath Das Goswami, when he left his home and approached to Nityanand Prabhu, and he saw from far Nityanand Prabhu, who was shining like millions of suns, and from far Raghunath Das bowed down at the lotus feet of Lord Nityanand, and Nityanand shouted that this Raghunath is a thief. You come here and show me your face. So the Nityanand Prabhu, who have not even abused Jagai or Midai, has termed Raghunath Das as a thief. And he said that I will punish you. He said that you are bowing down from far and you are stealing our devotional service.
आनंदित मन। फिर ये कथा है, लेकिन कुल मिलाकर कोई हमें प्रणाम करे,
So if somebody bows down at our feet or serves us, then that sadhana gets stolen from us. And the third reason, he or she is stealing my heart. If we serve a bona fide spiritual master or a saint, then we attract his heart towards us. Matang Rishi tells that he is stealing my heart. I am getting attracted to him because he is serving me. In our disciplic succession, we have a saint whose name is Narottam Das Thakur, and he had this desire to get initiation from Loknath Goswami. He said that I don't make any disciples. This disciplic succession is so much filled with humility. And he said that he was not agreeing to give him initiation. Loknath Goswami became old, and Narottam Das Thakur started cleaning his restrooms and started performing small services for him, menial services for him. And when Loknath Swami saw that Narottam is doing so many menial services for me, then he made only one disciple, that is Narottam Das Thakur. And he got this opportunity or initiation just by performing menial services towards the spiritual master. So Matang Rishi told them to grab or catch the thief. So the disciple said that he comes at night, and when we'll have to awake the whole night, and we have to wake up at Mangla Aarti. Matang Rishi got angry and agitated that that person is serving us, getting awake at night, and you don't want to disturb your night, one night, so let them wait. So we'll listen in detail tomorrow. So you all have been listening with so much love and devotion. So the time is crossing a little. Today is a Sunday. So thank you so much. And I especially want to thank the Patni family who have performed this katha in reverence of their ancestors.
छोटू भाई, जसू बहन, प्रभुदास भाई, ऐसे पावन पितरों की स्मृति में
In
ये सुंदर भागवत कथा का आयोजन करने वाले नवीन भाई, रमेश भाई, अरविंद भाई, शोभा माता और हमारे सुहद मित्र योगेश भाई, आप सभी भक्तों का भूरी भूरी धन्यवाद।
So I thank you all
इस प्रकार से एक स्थान पर बैठकर भागवत का श्रवण कर रहे
by
हैं।
listening
वास्तव में आप धन्यवाद
and
के
sitting
पात्र हो।
at one place and listening to the katha.
से आप
You all are great.
हजारों लाखों लोग
And by
इस शबरी माता के चरित्र का लाभ ले रहे हैं। मैं भी
the,
इसमें से एक हूँ।
by your
सो धन्यवाद।
mercy, we are able to
आइए,
listen to
जय जयकार के
the
साथ हम
pastimes of Shabari Mata. So let's conclude the session with Jai Jaikar.
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम महापुराण की, श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की।